Let's talk Disney earnings right now and what you're expecting, and most importantly, what you're looking for.
Look, I think what the two main things investors are going to focus on, right? Because obviously the parks are closed. There is still a lot of challenges facing that business. Movie industry is still basically shut down around the world. So what investors are going to be looking for, two things, Andrew. One, what's that Disney Plus subscriber number? Obviously, you mentioned it was 86 million. I think that number's got to be above 90 million for investors to be excited. I think there's a little bit of fear that the US number could be declining slightly. So I think everyone's going to be looking for what's the progress in Disney Plus. Obviously, they gave out some very big subscriber targets for Disney Plus over the next couple of years. But I think the real thing is going to be the leaning in. They want Chapek. Investors want Chapek to keep leaning in harder and harder to streaming. Obviously, you've seen what Warner Brothers has done, taking all of their movies directly to HBO Max. I think with things like Black Widow coming up and theaters just not going to be open to real capacity around the country, let alone around the world, I think investors want to hear from Disney that they're taking movies like Black Widow and going directly to Disney Plus. I think those are the types of things that can keep the kind of momentum in Disney stock going.
And so, but how do you thread that needle in terms of explaining that to the investor? And how much do you think that that is a phenomena of the pandemic? Because we've talked about this, once the toothpaste is out of the tube, can you ever put it back?
We were actually talking about that related to the whole Clubhouse and Twitter Spaces phenomenon last night, actually, right? But I mean, from the standpoint of the movie business, I mean, look, I think you're never going to put the toothpaste completely back in. I don't think windows, the historic windows between when a movie came out in movie theaters and when a consumer could watch it in some capacity in their home pre-pandemic was essentially 75 days. Yes, there were exceptions, what Netflix was doing and what Amazon was doing. I don't think when we come out of the pandemic, so think about 2022 and beyond, my guess is movie windows are going to be somewhere between 17 and 30 days. I mean, obviously, Universal's already come out and said, we want to get movies to PVOD, which is sort of, call it $20 or $30 premium pricing for video on demand, after a movie's theatrical release. Whether it's SVOD or PVOD, I don't believe movie windows will ever be the same. It's why we're so skeptical of the movie theater business. It's, AMC is never going to look the same on the other side of this pandemic.
Shepard Smith here. Thanks for watching CNBC on YouTube.